Hello, everybody. Mike Hoss, along with the Cajun Cannon Bobby Hebert. OTA is done today. One more week of OTAs next week. Probably focused a little more on the offense today, watching Tyler Shough, watching a couple of deep balls, one to Bub Means, one to Donovan Peoples-Jones, and man, it just those go routes look pretty impressive.
Yeah, he throws Shough, but they both do. But Shough, because we just recently have witnessed him,
Right.
throws a beautiful deep ball. I think Spencer had one to Rashid Shaheed that he underthrew about a step. That should never happen. You should never underthrow.
He's got to underthrow, though.
No,
man.
you just, hey, I threw to Mark Super Duper with, Dan Marino. And I swear, oh, they must really work on that. No, I just threw it as far as I could and let him go run under it. So that's what you need to do, Rashid Shaheed. Make him go get the ball. But no, they've really thrown the ball well with both of them with deep passes, that being Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough. Now, I didn't realize, look, Bub Means, he looked faster than I thought. I go, whoa, that's Bub Means. You think of him as a bigger receiver,
Yeah.
possession receiver. But no, he got behind right, I want to say, in coverage on that one. But yeah, who had a big day today? Juwan Johnson. It seems like he caught 4 or 5 balls
from Spencer.
Yeah.
That combination has been there. We've seen that.
Yeah, that definitely, he would have been like 70, 80 yards receiving on that. So, again, they're not tackling. But overall, the quarterbacks were really accurate. There's one particular throw that is hard to do as a right-handed passer. You never want to see him scrambling in 7-on-7 in pass skeleton because there's no rush. The ball has to come out on time. And now and then, you have to practice your scramble drills. Well, Tyler Shough rolled left, and I'll tell you, he threw a dime. I'm trying to think who it was. Stutsman, the linebacker from Oklahoma, ended up getting Danny Stutsman getting his hand in there. And I think it might have been Cedric Wilson Junior, where we got to go and make it. But that was an accurate throw.
Across his body.
Going left on the run. You might say, oh, well, that's a play that could get picked. But he threw that with authority and like a dime, dropped it right in there. So Cedric Wilson Jr. had a chance to make a great catch, but a good defensive play breaking that up.
And we learned probably more about Chris Olave and the relationship with Kellen more than at least I had known, that they brought him in 22 prior to the draft when Kellen was with Dallas, and that he did so well in this, what they call a receiver test, where they'll give him like 8 plays in the morning, go do your thing all day, then come back and test his recall. And they're very impressed with his knowledge of the game.
No, Chris Olave is very smart. I think he's fast. He's smooth. He runs nice routes. I just wish at times, because this is not that you can't coach, like those contested catches. Okay, you're going up for a rebound, and then, can you make the play? You're right there. Can you finish? I mean, he's never going to be a physical receiver where he's going to outman someone.
Not Mike Thomas.
Mike Thomas or Colston.
Yeah.
Just bigger receivers, so they're stronger. I think he's tough. Sometimes, might not want to go across the middle. Well, a lot of receivers don't want to go across the middle, and dealing with those concussions and all that comes into play. But I think he's a tough football player. You can see why he was drafted. Put it this way: more a legit player, I think, where he got drafted as far as potential, what he could become as the seasons progress compared to Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, if you stay healthy,
I think Brandon Cooks, he was the number 1 draft pick, but I think there's a little bit of a reach. Now, he's had a number of 1,000-yard seasons, but I thought he was even going to do more. But there's a reason why he's played for a lot of different teams. He started playing 4, 5, 6 different teams. That doesn't mean you can't play. And he's a legit NFL player, but never truly be that number 1. I think Chris Olave would have an opportunity to be more a number 1. And I think Chris Olave is a very good receiver. Could be everybody's number 2. But I get spoiled. You look at Jamar Chase and all. There's only really a handful, half a dozen. You say, well, that's truly a number 1, around the NFL.
Most of them are from Louisiana.
Yeah, exactly. The good gene pool right here. So, but yeah, I think that I'm still concerned. Also, I'd say about the cornerback room. That's why I asked the Alontae Taylor question. The more you can do, and as long as he's confident, he wants to be on the outside, it might be like, man, we can't cover the slot receiver. Alontae, go guard him. I think Kool-Aid has to take a big step. Be interested to see where Kool-Aid's going to be McKinstry, and you never know with injuries. Isaac Gator, we're counting on him.
Yep.
And you might have to have, you never know, how injuries come about, but even the different packages, you got to have for sure 3, if not 4 or 5 corners that you could trust.
Another week of OTAs, and then, of course, it'll be the mandatory minicamp. Get all of your action right here on WWL, AMFM.com, always free on the Odyssey app.
Who dat?